Illinois Stories is brought to you by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the support of viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello, welcome to Illinois Stories. I'm Mark McDonald in Decatur at the Illinois Raptor Center, and you are looking at the Nescue equipment. Everything you need to get a baby bird back into a nest and among its parents. You might be surprised to know that this time of year is when wildlife rescue operations are their most busy. Birds fall out of nests, they get abandoned by their parents, they get lost, people gather them up and they don't know what to do with them, so they come to places like this. And this is what happens. Jane, when you're at the Illinois Raptor Center, you're in the saving animals business, and in the springtime, that's when you get really busy, isn't it? People bring things to you that fell out of nests or that got lost or abandoned, and you're expected to know what to do with all these critters,
and we have to have everything to feed everything that comes in, too. We have to have all those things because we never know what's going to come in. But our first responsibility is to make sure it comes in for the right reason. And, you know, we talk to people on the phone. It's so nice now. When we first started out, it was like, we have an answering machine. And now people can send us pictures on my phone and I can say, it needs rescued, it doesn't need rescued. I can identify it for them. We can go through. So we keep a lot of things from coming in because, you know, we don't want things to come in. We want them to stay with their parents.
Absolutely. And people oftentimes make the mistake of gathering up these little critters too soon, don't they?
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, you know, when they're on the ground, they can't fly. They have to learn to fly. So just like our babies have to learn to walk. So, you know, and they have to build up their muscles, and mom will take care of them. And we just have to trust Mother Nature that that's going to happen. And people say, oh, you know, let nature take its course. Well, that isn't bad. You know, but people have made it like it's bad. But
absolutely,
it's not
and not every critter makes it. Some of them die, and you know, because there is a natural death rate of things.
And nature isn't nice. It isn't pleasant out there. You know, things either starve to death or they die of old age, starving to death. So you know, we try to step in there when they get hit by a car or you know. And no one can see a tree go down and not help a baby bird. You know, we have a new thing called Nescue that we get up and actually put up a nest. And so far, I think we've gotten back 4 barred owls into nests. And we figure it costs about $500 per bird to get them through to release. So we've saved a couple $1,000s right there just by getting them back up in the nest and keeping them with mom and dad because that's where they need to be. These are great horned owls, and they could not be put back in the nest. Either that we don't know where they were or something else happened. So these guys came from another facility. So today, when we bring them in, they get logged in, they get a number, so we can track them throughout their stay here, and we're going to put them out in an outdoor cage. And, you know, we take blood from them, we do a workup, we weigh them, we see if there's anything wrong with them. Then we put them out in the cage after they kind of get used to it when they grow. And this one is definitely younger than this one over here.
Yeah, and they'll get along together in the same cage, okay?
Yes, they'll be fine because they're babies. And, you know, when they learn to fly, then they'll go out in the flight. And so, you know. Yeah,
but you'll decide when that is, and you'll decide how to release them.
Right, and where. We can't release them all in one spot, obviously. So, you know.
Can we take a closer look at this one? Can we get him out, or her out? I'm not sure what we have. But.
The females are always bigger than the males. So we'll have to wait till this one grows up a little bit more.
To know?
To know. When baby birds are born, their skeleton gets big really quick. So they're as tall as the parent. And then they start getting in their feathers. And with little great horns, they'll get in their feathers all over their body first, and then they get in the feathers on their head. You can see he's got the little nubs for his feather tufts.
Yeah, he's going to have those ears,
Yeah. So if you want this one, I'm going to go in here and see if I can get him.
Oh, that noise. Okay,
what? Right here, and then you're going to grab his feet.
Okay, I grab his feet.
Can you get him there?
Oh, I think I've got his feet. I think I've got him.
He'll grab you, one of the two.
Okay, I've got his feet.
Okay, got him?
Well, no, I don't have his feet. Okay.
All right.
He sure is squiggly. Okay, I don't think I'm hurting him. Let's see. You little devil. Okay. Okay. Now, should I hold him?
Now
like
you've got
that?
him. All
Okay.
right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, now it's a little better. I'm not very experienced at this, am I? You also know that, I bet. Okay, and you've got the older, bigger one, huh?
I have the older, bigger one.
I'm glad you worked it that way. Oh my goodness, that's a strong bird there.
You see this one's a little bit older.
And what is this noise with the beak?
This is clacking the beak, and all owls basically do that. That's, I don't want anything to do with you, leave me alone.
Oh, okay, all right.
But you can see these guys are getting the feathers. They get them on their wings and their tail first, and the last thing to get feathers is the head.
How old do you think that bird is?
Okay, well, all of them are born hatched around February. The mothers are on eggs in January, and they hatch in February. So some of them a little bit later, a little bit earlier
Remarkably
than others.
big for just a few
Right,
months.
right.
Wow. Okay, well let's take this. No further ado. Let's take them out to the cage, and that's where they'll spend the next a couple months of their life, maybe.
Probably about a month until we can get them into a flight cage.
I'll follow you, Jane.
Okay. Okay, this is going to be their new home for a while. It'll be hopefully like it would be in nature, that they've got little stumps to get up on, and when we know that they can get up on these tree limbs, then they'll get transferred out into the flight cage where they can really build up.
So we don't want to put them on those limbs yet because they can't fly. And they
this one might be able to parachute down, but that one definitely.
So should I put this one on that stump?
Yeah, try on the stump there.
And I better just let him. There you go. Oh yeah, good move. Good move. All right.
Okay.
What a handsome little devil.
Okay.
Oh, she's trying to fly, or he. Yeah, look at that. Aren't
That
they
one's
fascinating?
probably going to be a girl. That's a pretty big. I look at the feet, and those feet are pretty big. And that's what they'll do.
Okay, they'll be here for another month or so.
Yeah, but that's their play at catching, prey, and this puffing up like a turkey is, stay away from me.
That's right. Looking fearsome. Now, this is a fascinating process, Jack. This Cooper's hawk comes in here with this badly damaged tail, and as you can see, it's just like half a tail.
Yep.
And what you're doing is you're rebuilding her tail for her.
That's exactly what we're doing here.
With Cooper's hawk's feathers, which you keep on hand just for this kind of.
That's right. So this is called imping. It's a kind of a shortcut to keeping birds the entire time to molt this out. So that could take a year. And so with the amount of birds that come in and the cost of feeding these guys for a year, so it's just a little easier if we can just replace the feathers and get them out. So it's actually a very ancient technique. It's been around for over 4,000 years in the sport of falconry. We just use some more modern day stuff to do it. So basically what we do is you
cut off the old one,
cut off the old feather, so you can see that this feather is damaged. And then these are feathers that came in from a Cooper's hawk that was, I don't have the case numbers with them, but it was either euthanized or it died when it came in or was found dead. And so if they're feather perfect, we'll go ahead and harvest the first 7 or 10 feathers off the wings, and then we keep all 12 tail feathers, and then we keep them in we log it, keep it in a little bag that identifies what it is, the date we got it in, but mainly what we're concerned with is if it was an immature bird, whether it was a male or a female, and how many feathers are actually in the bag. So we keep those in a stock of feathers, and when we get a case like this, we just kind of go through what we got, pull it out, and
this girl, once you rebuild her tail, you'll be able to release her back into the wild.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and she won't know any different. Her tail will work just like it did before.
Yes, it will.
Okay.
And they probably know a little bit when they're out there. They probably go, "Hey, I've got a little bit more braking power," or so we just kind of match this up.
Snip the end off.
Just kind of like that.
Okay, so that's for length. That's so you get the length right.
Right.
Okay.
So these feathers with the Cooper's hawks, so if you ever see coops when they're flying, they have a very rounded appearance on their tail as they're moving, and that's because the outer tail feathers are shorter than the
Like a
central
fan,
tail feathers.
like a
Exactly.
fan.
So we got to build it that way. And tail feathers are hard. It's kind of like a little artwork to do. So you got to have kind of the eye for it. So we're getting that nice. So doing the first set's great. It's getting this other side all matched up is the hard part.
To sweep the way it should.
So
Okay.
so we're just going to keep kind of matching up, and that's a little long still.
Okay, snip it again.
And if we get it a little off, it's not too bad, but. Just a little more. We could probably trim this.
You can
just
plug
a
it
little.
right into the old.
Yep. So there's our original feather shaft right there, and yes, it's a little. So that's the original where we cut it, and then we're going to make the pin just from the old broken shaft.
Strip the old feather. And you'll stick that in and then epoxy the new feather to it?
Yep.
Is that the way it works?
So what we do is we tend to just build the entire thing first to make sure everything looks good. And then we'll take the time to epoxy. Because once the epoxy's set, you can't pull it back out.
Are you
again.
sanding that?
Just sanding that, giving it a little taper on the end. And this one's a little bent, so it may not fit really well. So we may have to make another pin. But it's going to fit in there.
Looks like it slid.
Little nuts in there.
There, it slid in. Yeah.
Looking good.
Okay.
So, let me do this one more time here. Yeah, I'm not happy with that pin. So we're going to make another pin because there's this little bend in
okay,
that.
all right.
So we actually keep some pins over here. So these are just feathers that were molted off other birds, and
Yeah. So you'll do this 12 times. She'll have a whole new set of tail feathers, and away she goes.
yep,
All right.
it's a pretty nifty little trick. And like I said, people bring us stuff to imp. So that another facility may have a bird that came in that was trashed, or that, it just depends. So one of the things that we've been doing here is that we have some new facilities. All right, babe. We have some new facilities for our educational birds, and they have wire on the front of them, and it's all right with them because
There, it slid right in,
much
didn't
better.
it? That's much better.
And wires, wires are a very secure thing to have. Keeps the animals from getting out, keeps the animals from getting in. But with birds, unfortunately, wire breaks feathers.
Well, Jane, now this little barred owl has been inside in a cage by himself.
Right.
And he was born like the end of March, I guess. That's when they.
Yeah, end of
Hatch.
February and into March, and he came in over the weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was the situation he was in?
I have to go look.
Yeah.
I get so
People
many
bring
in
them.
that.
People bring them because they find them, I guess.
Yeah, and I think this one is from like around Champaign, if I'm not mistaken. So we can't get him back into a nest. So we've got a surrogate parent out here that we're going to put him with, and another baby that we got in earlier.
Now, does that surrogate parenting work very well? I mean, when will that adult take to this little chick?
Well, it's better than the chick looking at me.
That's
You know,
more
I mean, they
likely.
have to have a hero. And our Spud, I think you met her when you were here once
Yeah, yeah.
before. Spud will actually go down and feed. We haven't seen this one do that, but the baby watches him, and that's the important part of it.
Okay, so there is imprinting going on, right?
They imprint on the right thing instead of on people.
Yeah.
Because if these guys imprint on people, then they're going to want to mate with a person, and they're also going to want to be territorial. And that's when you see like somebody raises one incorrectly, releases it in a park, and then you've got an owl attacking somebody.
Yeah.
That isn't what owls do,
Yeah.
but that's what a misimprinted owl would do.
Can we go in with the big owl? Is it? I mean, is it?
We can try.
We can try. It's always okay, let's try.
there he is. That's the daddy right there. Let me get some
Well, there's
bees
some.
here.
He's got a little sunshine in his cage. That's good.
Yeah. And you can
And
see
we'll-
the other little baby who
Okay,
is
so-
out of the nest.
So we really need to like move quickly, right? Because
Yeah.
he can fly. Okay. Well, I'm going to go in. Okay. And then. Well, there he is. Okay. He's good. He's good. Okay, Jane, where would you like me to put this little guy?
You can put him in the nest if you want.
In the nest. Okay.
You can see the other little
sweetie.
guy there.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. There you go.
I'll put him in the. Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's okay. He can go there.
And there's another little one behind
Yes.
there, right?
Yeah. See him watching the other one?
Yeah. This guy doesn't like me. I'm getting out of here. Well, Jane, thank goodness for volunteers and donors.
And donors.
And donors. Because if we look at this complex now, you've got 3 new cage buildings.
Right.
You can handle more than 30 birds that you couldn't take before, big
Right,
birds.
right.
Thanks to Ameren. huh?
Thanks to Ameren,
Wow.
yes. We have divided our caging up where our educational birds and our rehab bird used to be all mixed together, and now with this complex that we got it with a grant from Ameren, all of our education birds are here, which leaves all the 30-some cages over there for nothing but rehab. So it couldn't be any better. This is a
When you
dream.
say education birds, I've been with you on one of your you go to schools.
Yes,
And you
yes.
and Jack actually take these birds and you're able to show these to kids.
Right.
So they really they get a feel for, like if you say a snowy owl, they can only imagine what that is.
Right.
But if you walk it around and let them get right in front of it.
It gives them appreciation for
Yeah.
it, and then they'll want to save it when they get
Yeah.
older.
Or
So-
a peregrine, for instance. A
Yes.
peregrine falcon, we're going to go in this cage. Some of these are tethered, so we
Yes.
can go in and we don't have to worry about disturbing the bird or the bird disturbing us. But let's go in and take a look and maybe a sound at this. These things are so loud that sometimes you can't even hear yourself talk.
This
Let's
is
go on in.
Sam.
This is Sam the peregrine
This is Sam
falcon.
the peregrine. This is a little scary for him. He doesn't have this
Yeah.
many people coming in at one time.
But this is one he's used to being taken around. I mean, to be carried and to put into a cage and taken in
Right.
front of people.
But this is a little bit different situation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether I can get him up on the perch or not. Hey, Sam, I'm gonna go up there. Oops. Okay, that's not pretty. That's not pretty. We'll let you sit on the ground.
Okay, that's okay, Sam. You wouldn't want to sing for us, would you?
He usually has, oh, probably not now.
No, not when we want him to, but boy, they make a racket. They really make. We could hear him all the way across your property.
Oh,
We could hear
yes,
the peregrine
yes.
falcon. Okay, Sam, we're going to give you 10 more seconds to sing, and if you don't sing, we're going to go somewhere else.
No, there I can get him up. Well, now he's gonna bother you.
He's fine. He's just fine. What a beautiful bird.
This is a totally different situation. One thing about training birds is routine. Routinely, people come out, they feed him. One person comes in and cleans. So this is like, there's 3 people and one's got a great big something.
This isn't normal.
great big
I don't like
eyeball
this.
looking at
Okay,
me.
it's okay. We're leaving. We're leaving. Okay. Jane, let's visit one of your bald eagles. This one, of course, she has her white color, so he
Yes.
is mature and
Yeah.
tethered, so it's safe to go in, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, he may bang around a little bit because he's going to wonder what we're in there for.
Well, of course. We can't be up to any good, right?
No, he's Kenny. Kenny, get up here and sit for us.
This is Kenny.
This is Kenny.
Okay. And this is this a small male? Is that what
This
you
is
said?
a small male,
Oh, it's a
and we
gorgeous
use him
bird.
for programs. If you can see, that's the good eye. If he turns his head around, he's got a bad eye.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons that we keep Kenny tethered is because he does fly in circles. And as you can see, we've got wire here, and we want to keep him off that wire because he can actually hook his beak in the wire and break his beak off, or he can break his talons off. So some people get upset when we tether a bird, but it's really for their own good.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah. He gets out. He gets out,
Yes,
doesn't he? Yeah.
yes. We take him out, and
And he's got that bad eye, so he couldn't
Yeah.
be released anyway, right?
No. And you know, when they're juveniles, we got him when he was a brown juvenile, and juveniles have like an 80% mortality rate anyway. And we figure if we put a juvenile out there with everything going against him to begin with, and then put him out with a disability, We might as well euthanize him.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
we keep him for education. He's a really good bird. Sometimes he'll bark, do that bark on an educational program, and he flaps his wings around. The other day we were doing a program, and it was what we call a talking clock, where it's a whole 8 hours of standing and people coming by, and he did a really good job on that. That's a long time. We had 2 other birds, and we kept
That's a lot
taking
to
them in
ask
and
of a
out.
bird. That's a
Yeah.
full day's work.
Yeah, that's a full day's work of people looking at you. So, no, he's a good bird. This is, when we come in a cage like this, usually when 2 of us come in a cage, it means he's going to get tackled and he's going to go in for a physical.
Yeah, or have to get blood taken or
yeah,
something.
get blood taken or something like
Okay,
that.
Kenny.
So,
Now we're going to leave you alone, buddy. We're going to leave you alone. Jane, I'll bet these 2 snowy owls put on a show for people, don't they, when you take them out?
we haven't taken these guys out. We have another one that we take out.
Oh,
These
these
guys
aren't
are kind of the backup. Both of them are permanently injured. They are both wild guys. So the wild ones, and especially when they're older, they're really hard to handle on programs. But this is really nice because when we have like raptor camps and things for kids and adults, we can bring them out here and actually show them the difference in a male and a female. The female on the stump, she's got the darker colors, and the
And
male,
she's bigger, isn't she?
Yeah, and she's bigger. And Wampa, this is Tauntaun, is the girl, and Wampa is the boy, and he's that beautiful white color.
Yeah.
And they are just, they're little characters.
They are. Those eyes, they're full of amazement.
They
Of course,
look
they're
like-
not used to seeing a camera, but
Yeah, they're Muppets.
look at that. They are. They're so funny. Look at that mouth. Oh, boy.
The world is really so diverse when you look at a hawk and an eagle, and then you look at an owl with the flat face and the eyes forward.
And all raptors,
Yes,
all connected,
and-
but so different.
Right, but so different. It's just amazing.
Jack, this is the bird that you were earlier repairing the tail feathers. She now has 12 perfect tail feathers.
Beautiful tail
She's
feathers.
ready to go, right?
Yep. That's the whole purpose of this.
Okay.
So, we have education birds and stuff like that, but this is why we do what we do. So,
Yeah.
had the injured Coopers come in, we fix them up, get them back healthy, and then it's just let them go. So, Cooper's hawks don't normally stick around, so we can release them on site. They usually take off. So,
Okay, let's
you ready
see
for
if
this?
let's see how she does.
Pretty eager to go here.
Yeah,
so,
she is.
Yep.
Oh, she knows. She knows you're going to let her go. I think she knows.
All right.
Oh, once she gets that mask off, she's going to feel so good.
Okay, hold up.
Oh,
look at that beautiful
right into the
yeah.
tree.
Yeah,
Look
nice,
at that
nice.
right there.
So you saw her using
Beautiful.
those wings.
There
and
she
seeing,
goes.
That's
There
what
she
we're
goes.
watching on
Yep.
release. Just how they're operating their wings, how they're moving their tail.
It
And
looked
now
like
she's
she
got-
maneuvered just fine, didn't it?
And she may have done that too because in the flight she had no tail. So when she was out there, you could see her like shifting that tail. So she's got a break now and a way
Yeah.
to turn. So
It works. It
that's-
works.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
it's all
free.
about. But it's all that work. You're talking months worth of work and months of food and feeding,
Yeah.
and then all that work we did this morning for about half a second of release. It's all that for that is what
Yeah, yeah.
it's worth it.
That's your reward.
Yeah, that's our reward.
You
There
get to
she
see
goes.
that
She's
bird
moving
fly.
around.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about, just for that little tiny sliver of time that we get to see her go.
There
and
she
there she
goes.
goes.
Jack, this is very specialized equipment. You call it nescue
Yes.
equipment because what you're doing is you're actually building a nest up high in a tree someplace, and you're going to put a very young chick in there and hope that the adults in the neighborhood take care of it.
Yep.
Is that kind of what happens?
Yep. So in the industry, it's called re-nesting, but we just kind of put our own little spin on it, just because we use the arborist climbing equipment. It's kind of a combination between rock climbing and arborist climbing stuff. But we have basically a rope access way. We shoot a light line up, pull up a climbing line, go up. This is actually one of our nests that we use for certain species.
laundry basket.
Yeah, this is a wicker laundry basket.
I'll be darned.
We'll lash this right into the crotch of a tree, either near the nest site or at the nest site, or maybe even a nearby tree. Put some bedding material. That way we don't have to go back and get it down. It'll just disintegrate and deteriorate.
Yeah.
Or we also use nest boxes, so we have various designs for certain species like kestrels, barred owl boxes.
Now you have to know how to climb because you You're going up as high as
Yes.
that, and it could be 80, 100 feet up, I guess.
Yeah,
huh?
about 100 sometimes.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you've got to tether yourself and make sure you're safe and everything.
So, yep, this is all ascension gear. So we have gear that
Mm-hmm.
allows us to ascend up a rope, but our system is a little bit different. So our gear also allows us to get down really quick if we have to.
Yeah.
So we just detach one thing and we can get down. That's in case anything bad
Yeah.
starts happening. But so far, nothing has. so.
You've got some recent video you took. You've got a GoPro on your head, right? Probably
Yep.
on your helmet,
Carry
and you've
one
got
right
some
on the
other
helmet.
some other cameras. And you've actually had the experience where you can watch the adults coming in and feeding the chicks that you just put in the nest. How neat!
Yes, and it works. And as you know, it saves us money in the long run. There's kind of a unique way of looking at it, because some people might say, well, but if you take them in, that's, you know, they're going to get, they will. They'll, if we bring these guys in here, they're going to get all of that care they want. They're going to get all the food they want. They're going to be in the sheltered little environments. But is that necessarily the greatest thing for baby bird if its parents are still out there?
Yeah.
I would much rather mom and dad find the food, mom and dad feed it. I would much rather it be exposed to the elements so it understands how nature works. I would, that's the way it's supposed to happen. And so if we can get them back up, we'll spend more time doing that than trying to get get them in here and doing all that stuff. So and it's worked out real well.
Yeah.
And as we said, it also saves the facility money. Food is a big bill around here. So saves us a little bit money in the long run.
Yeah, yeah. Jack, thank you. You and Jane were great hosts, and it's great to see what goes on here in the springtime. We appreciate it very much.
It's very busy here.
Okay. This is baby time at the Illinois Raptor Center. And just to put that into framework, what we just heard about this Nescue project, in the last 3 years, they've been able to take 16 birds and successfully place them back out into the wild. With another Illinois story in Decatur at the Illinois Raptor Center, I'm Mark McDonald. Thanks for watching.
Illinois Stories is brought to you by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the support of viewers like you. Thank you. For a DVD copy of the program you've just seen, send $19.95 to Network Knowledge, P.O. Box 6248, Springfield, Illinois 62708. Be sure to include the program name, subject, and when the program aired. You can also order with your credit card by calling 800-232-3605.